Beloved, as you prepare to enter the sacred rest of sleep, remember this divine truth. Your subconscious mind never sleeps. It is the creative workshop of the infinite, the silent builder of health, harmony, and wholeness. Tonight, as you surrender to slumber, let the healing presence of Jesus Christ wash over your body, cleanse your mind, and uplift your spirit. The Spirit of God within you is the fountain of living waters, purifying every cell, every thought, and every hidden emotion. While your conscious mind rests, Christ, the indwelling healer, continues his perfect work, restoring you to the pattern of divine health and peace. Now let us unfold the living principles of healing that you may receive them deeply into your heart. Beloved, let us consider this marvelous truth. Christ, the great physician, never sleeps. He who indwells you, the living presence, is ceaseless in his activity. Your conscious mind grows weary, your eyes close, your body reclines in rest, but the divine life within you neither slumbers nor grows tired. It is eternal vitality, perpetual motion, everlasting light. When you fall into the arms of sleep, you are not abandoned, you are not forgotten, you are not left to drift without care. Instead, the Christ presence, which is the healing intelligence of God, continues its holy work deep in the recesses of your subconscious. Your subconscious mind is always awake. It is the builder of your body, the silent gardener of your thoughts, the storehouse of your beliefs, and the executor of your faith. Whatever you plant into this fertile soil will grow in the darkness of night, just as surely as seeds sprout beneath the ground unseen. The great physician moves through this unseen soil, purifying, ordering, adjusting, balancing, and harmonizing every aspect of your being. And while you rest, this silent activity continues uninterrupted. Christ is the healing law within you, and law never sleeps. Consider the rhythm of your breathing as you lie down to rest. You do not command each breath, yet it flows in perfect harmony. Your heart beats in the quiet of the night. Your blood circulates without your conscious effort. So too does the healing power of Christ move ceaselessly within you. It is the law of life, the pattern of divine order, restoring you to health and wholeness. Every heartbeat whispers the eternal presence of God within, reminding you that you are never alone, never forsaken, never without help. When you sleep, your conscious resistance dissolves. Doubt, fear, and anxiety often dwell in the conscious mind. But in slumber, these walls come down. The subconscious mind becomes more receptive, more open, more malleable. It is here that the great physician enters with ease, planting the seeds of divine health and uprooting the weeds of fear and disease. In the silence of night, Christ heals. He heals because his nature is healing. He cleanses because his essence is purity. He restores because his very being is wholeness. Imagine yourself lying upon your bed, releasing every tension, every care, every thought of the day. As you drift into sleep, picture the radiant light of Christ surrounding you, penetrating you, filling every cell with vitality and every thought with peace. See his presence as a gentle physician, moving quietly through the chambers of your being, cleansing the bloodstream, purifying the organs, balancing the mind, uplifting the soul. This is not imagination only, it is a spiritual fact. The Christ within you never ceases to work for your highest good. Many people wonder why they sometimes awaken with fresh ideas, sudden clarity, or renewed strength. The answer lies here. While the conscious mind slept, the subconscious, guided by the divine physician, was at work. Old patterns were dissolved, new pathways formed, solutions discovered. The Spirit of God works in the darkness as well as in the light, and the subconscious, ever awake, is the laboratory where miracles take shape. While you sleep, the miracle worker is at work. Do not believe that healing requires effort, strain, or struggle. True healing flows naturally, like the river to the sea, like sunlight across the dawn. Healing is not forced, it is allowed. When you surrender to sleep with trust, you are in fact saying, I release and let Christ do the work. This is the greatest act of faith, to rest in the assurance that God is working on your behalf, even while you are unaware. Faith is the conviction that even in stillness, even in silence, the great physician is active. Think of a mother who watches over her child through the night. The child rests in perfect trust, not wondering if the mother will care, not questioning if she will remain. The child simply sleeps, knowing the guardian is near. So too should you sleep in the arms of Christ, trusting that He who formed you, He who knows every atom of your being, is watching over you with infinite love and wisdom. This trust removes anxiety, and in its place flows healing. For peace of mind is the fertile soil of recovery. When Jesus walked the earth, He healed by the word, by the touch, by the presence of His Spirit. That same healing Christ is alive within you now. He has not withdrawn. He has not ceased His ministry. What He did outwardly for the sick and the broken, He now does inwardly for you through the agency of your subconscious. The word of truth spoken before sleep, such as Christ is healing me now, becomes the command impressed upon the subconscious, and the great physician fulfills it in silence. You may have gone to bed weary, afflicted, troubled in body or mind, but as you sleep, the physician moves through you with the certainty of divine law. You awake refreshed, renewed, perhaps with no awareness of the process that has taken place, just as a wound heals overnight without your conscious command. Trust this invisible work. Healing is not always dramatic or immediate to the senses, but it is continuous, steady, and sure. Remember this: Christ never slumbers. Infinite intelligence never takes a break. The life of God flows ceaselessly, like electricity through a wire, like sap through the tree, like blood through the veins. Whether you are awake or asleep, the law of life is active. But in sleep, without interference of worry and doubt, the healing current moves most freely. This is why sleep is sacred. It is a temple where Christ, the great physician, performs His perfect work in the silence of your soul. Therefore, as you prepare for rest, affirm with joy and faith, the healing presence of Christ is at work within me now. As I sleep, Christ heals, restores, and renews me. Say it with feeling, say it with conviction, and then let go. For the moment you surrender and trust, the work begins in earnest. The divine physician, who never grows weary, who never closes His eyes, who never ceases His ministry, is already at work within you. Beloved, be at peace. Let your heart be untroubled. Sleep tonight knowing that Christ, the eternal healer, is cleansing, restoring, and perfecting every part of your being. And when you awaken, you will know that truly, while you slept, the great physician was at work. Beloved, there is a wondrous secret that many overlook. The subconscious mind is the workshop of God. It is the hidden chamber of creation within you, the place where divine ideas take form, where impressions become realities, and where the healing currents of Christ are received and manifested. Your conscious mind is like the sower of seed, but the subconscious is the fertile soil that accepts, nurtures, and brings forth the harvest. All that you are experiencing in body, mind, and circumstance is but the outpicturing of what has been planted into this inner workshop. You must understand this eternal truth. The subconscious mind does not reason as the conscious mind does. It does not argue. It does not debate. It does not reject. It simply accepts the impressions given to it and works tirelessly to bring them to pass. Just as the earth accepts every seed planted in it, whether of wheat or of weeds, and causes it to grow, so too does the subconscious accept every thought, belief, and image impressed upon it. When you plant thoughts of harmony, health, and divine order, the subconscious brings forth healing, vitality, and peace. When you plant fear, worry, and discord, it manifests sickness, weakness, and unrest. But here's the glorious truth. Christ, the great physician, is always ready to guide your planting, to fill your subconscious with the seeds of life and light. When you sleep at night, the conscious mind withdraws. Its ceaseless chatter, its doubting tendencies, its questioning spirit grows silent. The door of the subconscious opens wide. This is why sleep is so sacred. For in the stillness of the night, the impressions made before slumber sink deeply into the fertile soil of the subconscious. Here, the workshop of God begins its holy activity. It takes the affirmations of truth, the visions of wholeness, the prayers of faith, and sets them into motion, fashioning them after the pattern of divine law. Consider a sculptor in his studio. The raw material is before him, stone, clay, or metal. He shapes and molds it with his tools until the hidden beauty emerges. In the same way, your subconscious mind is the workshop where the divine sculptor, Christ, is at work. He takes the raw material of your thought, the substance of your faith, the impressions you provide, and he shapes them into the finished form of health, peace, and joy. This activity goes on unceasingly, for the subconscious never sleeps, and the Spirit of God within it never ceases its creative work. When you impress the idea of health before sleep, the subconscious, guided by the divine intelligence of Christ, goes to work restoring the tissues, balancing the functions, and harmonizing the organs. When you impress peace upon the subconscious, it works through the night to dissolve anxiety, to calm the nerves, to bring serenity to the mind. When you affirm joy, the subconscious arranges your inner chemistry, your thought patterns, and even your outward circumstances to reflect this joy. The workshop of God is infinitely wise, perfectly ordered, and always faithful to the impressions it receives. Let me remind you of a simple yet profound law. Whatever you unite with feeling becomes impressed upon the subconscious. Words without feeling are like seeds cast upon stone, but words spoken with faith, imbued with emotion, sink into the fertile ground and take root. This is why prayer before sleep is so powerful. If you affirm with feeling, Christ within me is my health, my strength, my perfect peace, your subconscious accepts this as a fact and begins to manifest it as reality. The workshop of God does not fail. It always builds according to the pattern impressed upon it. Think of the farmer who plants seeds in his field. He does not dig them up in the morning to see if they are growing. He trusts the unseen processes of nature. He knows that the soil, the sun, and the rain are at work, and in due season the harvest will appear. In the same way, when you impress divine truth upon your subconscious, you need not worry or strain. Trust the process. The Christ within is the master craftsman of the workshop. He knows how to bring forth health from the seed of affirmation, joy from the seed of gratitude, peace from the seed of faith. Many people allow negative seeds to be sown into their subconscious. They rehearse fear before sleep, they dwell upon sickness, they brood over failure, and the workshop, being ever obedient, begins to produce according to these patterns. This is why you must guard the door of your mind, especially before rest. Place into your subconscious only those seeds you wish to see grow, only those impressions that align with divine health, harmony, and success. Remember always that the Christ presence guides this process. When you surrender to Him, even the old weeds of fear and doubt can be uprooted, and the workshop purified by the light of truth. There is infinite wisdom in your subconscious, because it is linked to the infinite mind of God. It is not a separate, isolated mechanism. It is the very avenue through which the Spirit of God works. When you sleep, divine intelligence operates through your subconscious, directing the vital forces of the body, guiding the circulation of the blood, harmonizing the functions of the organs, and restoring balance to the mind and spirit. Every healing that has ever occurred has flowed through this workshop, for it is the inner temple where God's law and man's faith meet. You may not always be conscious of this holy activity, but its fruits are evident. You go to bed weary and awaken refreshed. You retire troubled and awaken with clarity. You sleep with pain and awaken with relief. This is the workshop of God at work, shaping, mending, building, and renewing according to the law of life. Christ is the overseer, the master builder, ensuring that all things are done decently, in order, and in perfect harmony with divine love. Therefore, beloved, take comfort in this truth. Your healing is not dependent upon constant conscious effort. You need not strain, you need not force. Your task is simple. Impress your subconscious with truth, surrender to the Christ within, and trust the unseen processes of God's workshop. As you do this night after night, you will find your body growing stronger, your mind clearer, your spirit lighter. The workshop of God never tires, never fails, never ceases its holy labor. Let your final thoughts before sleep be thoughts of life, health, peace, and gratitude. Whisper to yourself with feeling, the healing presence of Christ is at work in me now. My subconscious is the workshop of God, bringing forth perfect health and harmony. Then surrender into the arms of sleep, knowing the work is being done. You may not hear the sound of the tools, you may not see the sculptor's hand. But rest assured, in the silence of the night, in the depths of your inner being, the divine craftsman is shaping your life into wholeness. Beloved, there is a sacred practice that opens the door of healing more swiftly and more surely than many realize, and that is to affirm the presence of Jesus before you enter into sleep. The mind, before it sinks into slumber, is like fertile soil prepared for planting. The impressions you give it in those holy moments linger, penetrate, and drop down into the subconscious, where they grow and multiply. Just as a farmer casts his seed before the rains come, knowing that the earth will nurture it in secret, so too do your affirmations before sleep take root in the rich soil of the subconscious, watered by the Spirit of Christ, and they spring forth as healing, harmony, and renewal. When you softly affirm, Christ is my life, my strength, my health, you are not merely uttering words. You are impressing eternal truth upon the inner depths of your being. The subconscious, which never argues, never doubts, and never sleeps, accepts these affirmations as facts and immediately begins to work them out into your experience. Christ, the indwelling healer, is the power behind these words. For every affirmation of truth is a channel through which His divine energy flows. Your spoken word is the vehicle, His healing spirit is the power that animates it. Many people go to sleep rehearsing fear, reliving trouble, or imagining calamity. They do not realize that in those last moments of wakefulness, they are programming their subconscious with seeds of worry and disease. Then they wonder why they wake with anxiety, or why their bodies remain heavy and ill. Beloved, what you feed your mind before sleep becomes the diet of the subconscious throughout the night. If you feed it the bread of truth, it will nourish you with health. If you feed it the poison of fear, it will trouble you with unrest. This is why affirming the presence of Jesus before sleep is one of the most powerful spiritual disciplines. When you say Christ is my health, you are declaring that the very life of Jesus, the eternal Son of God, flows through every cell of your body, cleansing, renewing, and strengthening. When you affirm Christ is my strength, you are announcing to the subconscious, the divine energy is now yours, that weakness is dissolved, that fatigue is replaced by vigor. When you affirm Christ is my peace, you are sowing serenity into the soil of your mind, and the subconscious builds a temple of quiet strength for you to inhabit. These affirmations, spoken with faith and feeling, work wonders, for they invite the great physician to work freely within you. Do not imagine that affirmations are mere repetition of phrases. They are declarations of truth, proclamations of divine law, and seeds of faith planted into the inner garden of the soul. The power is not in the sound of the words, but in the spirit behind them. When you speak them with conviction, with a quiet assurance that what you say is already true in the invisible, the subconscious accepts them instantly. And as you sleep, the Christ within animates these words, causing them to take form in your mind, your body, and your affairs. Suppose you have been struggling with illness. Instead of falling asleep with thoughts of sickness, you whisper gently, "The healing presence of Christ is restoring me now." Suppose your mind has been filled with worry. Instead of tossing with anxiety, you declare, "Christ is my peace. His mind is my mind." Perhaps you feel weary, drained by the burdens of life. As you close your eyes, affirm, "Christ is my strength. I rest in His power." Beloved, these words are not empty. They are living vibrations that pass into the subconscious, and the workshop of God immediately sets about fulfilling them. Affirmations before sleep are like lamps lit in the temple of the soul. When the conscious mind grows quiet, these lights remain burning in the subconscious, illuminating the chambers of thought and directing the currents of healing through the night. You may awaken in the morning surprised at the peace you feel, astonished at the strength that has returned, or delighted by the clarity that greets you. This is not accident. It is the natural outworking of the affirmations you planted before rest. Christ's healing power has been at work, using your affirmations as the blueprint for renewal. It is good to make your affirmations simple, clear, and filled with feeling. Lengthy statements are not required. A short phrase, repeated with quiet faith, is enough to impress the subconscious. Christ is healing me now. Christ is my peace. Christ is my strength. Christ is my life. These simple truths, spoken with love and conviction, enter the subconscious like arrows of light. They penetrate deeply, and once planted, they cannot be uprooted. They continue to work, silently and ceaselessly, as you sleep. The mind is impressionable before sleep, just as it is upon waking. This is why those 2 moments, the last thought before slumber and the first thought upon awakening, are so powerful. The subconscious is open, receptive, pliable. If you give it truth, it will yield truth. If you give it fear, it will yield fear. but the Christ within is always ready to guide and to heal, if only you will open the door with affirmations of faith. Beloved, imagine now that as you close your eyes, a great light surrounds you, the very presence of Jesus Christ. Feel this light entering your body, touching every organ, filling every cell, flowing through your bloodstream, calming your nerves, illuminating your mind as you affirm, Christ is my life. See this light pulsating with vitality as you say, Christ is my strength. Feel new energy flooding you as you affirm, Christ is my help. Picture your body radiating with wholeness as you whisper, Christ is my peace. Sense a deep stillness descending upon you. These affirmations, combined with visualization, impress the subconscious more deeply, and the great physician carries out the healing work during your rest. Do not concern yourself with how the healing will occur. The subconscious, guided by the divine intelligence of Christ, knows exactly how to restore balance, how to mend tissues, how to calm the mind. Your part is simply to affirm truth, to plant the seed, and to trust the process. The workshop of God within you needs no instruction, only faith. And Christ, the eternal healer, is the master of this workshop, ensuring that every affirmation is fulfilled according to the law of love. So tonight, beloved, let your last words before sleep not be words of fear or complaint, but words of faith and affirmation. Let them be declarations of the eternal presence of Christ in your life. Whisper them softly, feel them deeply, believe them completely. Then surrender to sleep, knowing that the great physician is at work, that your subconscious is building according to the seeds you have sown, that health, peace, and strength are being formed within you even now. And when you awaken, you will rise renewed, refreshed, restored, a living testimony to the truth that affirmations of Christ before sleep are the keys to healing of body, mind, and spirit. Beloved, let us enter into this profound truth. Every cell of your body is alive with the presence of God, and every organ responds to the rhythm of divine order. When you invite Christ, the great physician, to cleanse you, the body is not merely flesh and bone. It is the temple of the living Spirit. Within each atom is the intelligence of the infinite, guiding, sustaining, and renewing. When you go to sleep, the conscious mind lays aside its toil, but the life of God continues to work silently, perfectly, and ceaselessly in every part of your being. This is the cleansing of the body, the washing away of disease, the renewal of tissues, the restoration of harmony. Christ in you is the law of health. His presence is the pattern of perfection that your body longs to follow. Just as a seed contains within itself the design of the tree it shall become, your body contains within itself the divine blueprint of wholeness. Disease and disorder are but temporary shadows. They cannot endure the light of Christ. When you affirm His healing presence and surrender to His work as you sleep, every cell becomes obedient to that perfect pattern. Christ whispers to the cells, "Be whole," and they respond with vitality. He speaks to the bloodstream, "Flow in purity," and it circulates with new life. He directs the organs, "Perform your function in harmony," and they move in accord with divine law. You need not direct the healing process consciously. You need not know how the liver restores itself, how the heart strengthens, how the nerves are calm. The wisdom of Christ within knows infinitely more than your conscious mind. Your task is only to believe, to affirm, and to rest. While you sleep, the cleansing power of Christ is like a gentle river washing through the body, carrying away toxins, dissolving congestion, purifying the system. His healing light penetrates bone and marrow, muscle and nerve, skin and tissue. This is no imagination, beloved, but spiritual law. Life responds to the impress of spirit. Imagine the stream flowing through a valley. Over time, it clears the rocks, nourishes the trees, and brings life to all that surrounds it. So too does the living stream of Christ flow through your body, purifying and renewing. Perhaps you have felt heaviness, illness, or weakness. These are but the debris of fear and false belief. The Christ within you is stronger than all appearances. As you sleep, He sweeps away the shadows, leaving only light, leaving only health, leaving only strength. It is important to remember that the body listens to the mind. Every thought is a command, every feeling a message. When you harbor thoughts of sickness, resentment, or fear, the body obeys and manifests imbalanced. But when you affirm divine truth, when you feel the presence of Christ, the body receives these higher impressions and begins to cleanse itself accordingly. This is why your thoughts before sleep are so powerful. As the subconscious accepts them, the body follows. Say to yourself, Christ is cleansing every cell of my body now. My bloodstream is pure, my organs are strong, my nerves are calm, my heart is filled with life. These words are seeds of healing, and Christ himself waters them through the night. Do not underestimate the intelligence of your body. Every cell has memory. Every organ has wisdom. Every system has order. They were designed by the infinite mind, and their natural state is harmony. Disease is but a distortion, a temporary clouding of the divine design. But when you invite Christ into your consciousness, the original blueprint of wholeness shines forth again. The cells remember their perfection. The organs remember their rhythm. The body remembers its vitality. Healing is not so much the introduction of something new as it is the restoration of what already is in the mind of God. While you sleep, picture your body bathed in golden light, the radiant presence of Jesus flowing through you. See this light moving into your head, clearing the mind, into your chest, strengthening the heart, into your stomach, harmonizing digestion, into your lungs, filling them with breath, into your hands and feet, filling them with energy. Let this vision sink deeply into your subconscious. Christ is the healer, the purifier, the renewer. His light knows no barrier. It penetrates every level of your being. You may say, but I have been ill for many years. Beloved, no matter how long the shadow has lingered, the light of Christ can dispel it in an instant. A room may have been dark for 100 years, but the moment you strike a match, the darkness vanishes. It has no substance, no permanence. So too with sickness. It has no reality in the mind of God. It is but the absence of harmony. And when Christ enters, harmony is restored. Trust in this truth. Do not measure your healing by time or appearances. Know that the cleansing has begun. That every night you sleep in faith, the process continues. The work unfolds. Think also of the body as an instrument, and Christ as the master musician. When the strings are out of tune, the music is harsh. But in the hands of the master, the instrument is tuned perfectly, and the melody flows in beauty. Your body may have been out of tune through worry, fear, or wrong belief. But when you surrender to Christ, he tunes the instrument of your body, bringing every organ, every cell, every system into harmony. And the melody of health flows once again. Gratitude hastens the cleansing. As you lie down to sleep, say with a thankful heart, "Thank you, Lord Jesus, for cleansing and restoring my body. Thank you for your life flowing in me. Thank you for health made manifest." Gratitude is the language of faith. It signals to the subconscious that the work is already accomplished, and the workshop of God fulfills it with joy. When you awaken, do not look first for the sickness. Do not ask, "Is it gone yet?" Rather affirm, "The work of Christ is ongoing in me. Every day I am growing stronger, healthier, more radiant." The subconscious works best when you trust, when you release, when you live in the expectancy of good. Faith is the bridge by which the cleansing power flows without obstruction. Beloved, know this. You are not alone in your healing. The Christ within you is the eternal healer. He is closer than your breath, nearer than your heartbeat, more present than your very thoughts. As you sleep tonight, surrender your body to his care. Let go of fear. Let go of worry. Let go of resistance. Say within yourself, "Christ is cleansing me now. His life fills me, his light heals me, his love restores me." Then rest and let the great physician do his perfect work. When morning comes, rise with gratitude. Stretch your arms and declare, "This is the day the Lord has made. I am strong. I am whole. I am renewed." Carry this consciousness into your day, and you will see your body responding, your energy increasing, your health blossoming like a tree by the rivers of water. Truly, Christ is cleansing every cell, every nerve, every organ. His life is your life. His health is your health. His peace is your peace. Rest in this truth, and you shall see the glory of God made manifest in your flesh. Beloved, there is a truth that is as liberating as the sunrise. And it is this: the healing presence of Christ not only restores the body, but also renews the mind. For what is the body but the outpicturing of thought? Every cell, every nerve, every organ listens to the silent language of the mind. The thoughts you dwell upon, the beliefs you hold, the feelings you nurture. These are commands to the subconscious, and the body obeys them faithfully. If the mind is disturbed by fear, anxiety, or resentment, the body will manifest disorder, tension, and sickness. But when the mind is filled with the light of Christ, when it is calm, clear, and serene, the body responds with health, peace, and strength. The mind, beloved, is the seat of creative power. It is through thought that you shape your world. Every invention, every work of art, every healing, every transformation begins first in the mind. This is why the renewal of the mind is essential to the healing of the body. If the thoughts remain clouded, the body cannot fully express harmony. But here is the glorious message. Christ is the light that dispels the darkness of the mind. His presence dissolves fear, lifts confusion, and brings the serenity that allows true healing to flow. Think for a moment of the worries that often fill the human mind. What will tomorrow bring? Will I be well? Will my needs be met? Will I succeed or fail? Such thoughts are burdens. They weigh upon the nervous system. They cause tension. They disturb sleep. They create restlessness in the soul. Yet Jesus said, "Peace I leave with you, my peace I give unto you." This is no idle promise. The peace of Christ is a living reality, available to every man and woman who turns inward and affirms it. When you let His peace enter your mind, the storms subside, the waves grow calm, and the healing currents flow unhindered. Your subconscious is like a faithful servant. It will carry out whatever orders you give it. If you tell it, "I am worried, I am afraid, I expect trouble," it will accept this and bring about conditions to match. But if you affirm before sleep, "Christ is my peace, His mind is my mind, His calmness fills me now," the subconscious accepts this as well. And through the night it works to dissolve every trace of anxiety. The next morning you awaken lighter, clearer, more serene. This is no accident. It is the natural outworking of the spiritual law of mind. Negative thoughts are like clouds that obscure the sun. They are not permanent. They have no true substance. They cannot endure the presence of light. When you turn toward Christ, the radiant Sun of truth, the clouds disperse, and the light shines through. So it is with fear, worry, and resentment. They seem strong when you dwell upon them, but they vanish when you bring them into the presence of divine truth. The Christ within you is that light. The moment you affirm His presence, the shadows flee, and your mind becomes clear and radiant. Beloved, it is not enough to merely push away negative thoughts. You must replace them with the affirmations of truth. Suppose fear arises, say within yourself, "God has not given me a spirit of fear, but of power, of love, and of a sound mind." Suppose resentment tempts you, affirm, "The love of Christ fills my heart and mind. I release all bitterness and rejoice in peace." Suppose worry troubles you, declare, "Christ is my supply, my wisdom, my peace. I rest in His abundance." These affirmations, spoken with feeling, are seeds planted into the subconscious, and as you sleep, they grow into mental harmony, which expresses itself as bodily health. There is a quiet miracle that happens each night when you surrender your mind to Christ before sleep. The conscious thoughts that troubled you all day lose their grip, and the subconscious takes over. If you have impressed truth upon it, the subconscious becomes the workshop of God, dissolving the old patterns of fear and building new patterns of faith. Old habits of worry, ingrained over years, can be transformed as you nightly affirm, "Christ is renewing my mind now. His peace is my peace." In time, your whole outlook changes. You begin to see life differently, more hopefully, more joyfully, more courageously. Consider the words of Paul, "Be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind." Transformation begins within. The sick body can be restored when the sick mind is healed. A troubled life can be renewed when the troubled thoughts are dissolved. The mind is the key, and Christ is the master key that unlocks the door to peace. When His presence fills your mind, every thought is lifted, every feeling purified, every fear dissolved. This is not a distant hope. It is a present reality, available here and now to everyone who surrenders. Let me tell you, beloved, the mind is like a garden. If weeds of fear and anger are allowed to grow, they choke the flowers of peace and joy. But when you sow seeds of truth, When you water them with affirmations of faith and sunlight of gratitude, the weeds vanish and the garden blossoms. The subconscious is this garden, and Christ is the master gardener. When you yield the soil of your mind to Him, He uproots the weeds and plants flowers of serenity, courage, and love. The fragrance of this garden is health to the body and peace to the soul. You may have struggled long with mental unrest. You may have felt trapped in patterns of worry or haunted by memories of the past. But remember, the subconscious accepts new impressions at any moment. No matter how long the weeds have grown, they can be uprooted tonight by the affirmations of truth. Say before sleep, Christ has cleansed my mind. I am free. I am at peace. I rest in His love. Repeat it until you feel it. As you drift into slumber, those words sink deeply into the subconscious, and the great physician works through the night, renewing your thoughts and purifying your emotions. The renewed mind is like a calm lake, reflecting the beauty of the sky. The disturbed mind is like a stormy sea, tossing and turning. Which do you prefer? The calm lake is yours when you let Christ's peace be your peace. The storm subsides the moment you affirm His presence. Beloved, your mind is meant to be the dwelling place of divine ideas, not a prison of fear. Open the windows of thought, let in the fresh breeze of spirit, and feel the heaviness lift. As you practice this nightly cleansing of the mind, you will notice your body responding. Tension will melt away. Sleep will become more restful. Digestion will improve. Energy will increase. The body follows the mind. When the mind is healed, the body cannot remain sick. Christ in you brings harmony to both. So tonight and every night, before you close your eyes, speak gently to yourself. The mind of Christ is my mind. His peace fills me. His clarity guides me. His love heals me. Say it with conviction. Say it with gratitude. Then rest. The subconscious accepts it. And while you sleep, the great physician renews your mind. You will awaken refreshed, with new strength, new clarity, new joy. Truly, Christ heals not only the body, but also the mind. And when the mind is healed, the whole man is made whole. Beloved, when we speak of healing, we must never overlook the deepest dimension of man, which is the spirit. For man is not merely a body, nor is he merely a mind. He is a living spirit, clothed with mind and body. The body is but the temple, the mind the instrument, but the spirit is the divine essence itself, the eternal breath of God within you. When the spirit is clouded by guilt, by fear of punishment, by feelings of separation from God, then both mind and body suffer. The sickness of spirit is the root of all other sicknesses. Yet here is the radiant truth. The healing presence of Christ penetrates to the very core of your being, cleansing the spirit of all darkness, washing away guilt and condemnation, and filling you with the light of divine union. The spirit man longs for oneness with God, as a flower turns toward the sun. The great suffering of humanity arises from the false belief of separation, the idea that we are far from God, unworthy, or cast aside. But this is never the truth. The truth is that you are one with God now, and nothing can separate you from His love. When you accept this truth, your spirit is liberated, your heart is lifted, and the chains of guilt fall away. Christ is the divine light that reveals your eternal oneness with God. He is not merely a teacher or a healer, but the living embodiment of divine union, showing you your own eternal essence. When you sleep at night, your conscious defenses dissolve. The mask you wear in the day, the fears you hide, the guilt you suppress, all of these float to the surface in dreams or in restless unease. But when you call upon Christ before sleep, His cleansing power enters into the deepest layers of your being. He washes the spirit clean of all condemnation. He whispers to the subconscious, "You are forgiven. You are whole. You are loved eternally." This message impressed upon the subconscious begins to transform the spirit from within. Guilt, beloved, is a heavy burden that bends the soul. Many carry guilt for years, replaying past mistakes, imagining themselves unworthy of love, feeling condemned. Yet Jesus said, "Neither do I condemn thee, go and sin no more." His words are the balm that heals the wounded spirit. He did not come to condemn, but to redeem, to reveal the everlasting mercy of God. When you surrender guilt to Christ, it dissolves like mist before the sun. The spirit is made free, and with that freedom comes joy, energy, and renewed life. Let us understand, the subconscious holds on to guilt like a hidden scar. It can manifest in illness, in depression, in self-sabotage, in endless unrest. But you need not live with this hidden burden. Each night you may give it to Christ. Before sleep, say gently, "All that I am, all that I have been, I now place in the hands of Christ. He cleanses me, He renews me, He makes me whole." Feel the truth of it. Imagine His radiant light flowing through your soul, dissolving every shadow. As you sleep, the subconscious accepts this image, and the healing power of Spirit flows through you. The Spirit is the wellspring of life. When it is blocked by guilt, resentment, or fear, the waters of life cannot flow freely. But when Christ cleanses the Spirit, the fountain is released, and life flows abundantly into mind and body. This is why so many who experience spiritual healing also experience physical healing. The Spirit is the root. When the root is healthy, the tree flourishes. When the Spirit is free, the mind is clear, and the body is strong. Consider how a man carrying years of regret may walk with bowed shoulders, his body heavy, his energy low. Yet when he accepts forgiveness, when he realizes Christ has cleansed him, his posture changes, his face shines, his health improves. This is not imagination. It is the outworking of spiritual law. The inner freedom of spirit manifests as outer vitality. Beloved, the renewal of the Spirit is not a once-for-all event. It is a daily, nightly practice of surrender. Each day you may encounter thoughts of fear, memories of failure, whispers of unworthiness. But each night you can bring them to Christ. You can lay them at His feet and say, "Lord, you cleanse me now. You renew me now. You restore me now." In this surrender, the subconscious receives the impression of divine cleansing. And while you sleep, the great physician heals your spirit. Do not think you must earn this cleansing by deeds or ritual. It is a free gift of grace. It is yours because you are a child of God. The same sun that shines on the just and the unjust shines on you. The same rain that nourishes every field nourishes you. The love of Christ makes no distinction. It flows to you freely, without condition. Accept it now, and let your spirit rejoice. Imagine as you lie in bed, a radiant light descending upon you. See it penetrating not only your body, not only your mind, but your very spirit. See it dissolving every shadow, washing away every stain, lifting every burden. Feel the light filling you, expanding, shining brighter and brighter, until your whole being glows with divine radiance. This is not fantasy. This is the truth of spirit. This visualization, practiced with faith, impresses upon the subconscious the reality of divine cleansing. As you drift into slumber, this image takes root, and through the night, Christ works to make it your lived reality. When the spirit is cleansed, you awaken different. You may notice joy bubbling up for no reason. You may find yourself forgiving more easily, smiling more freely, feeling lighter in body and mind. The cleansing of the Spirit is the dawn of new life. Old things are passed away. Behold, all things are made new. There is no sin too great, no guilt too heavy, no fear too deep, that Christ cannot cleanse. His light reaches into the darkest corners of the soul, and His mercy is without limit. The healing of the Spirit is not partial, it is complete. Accept it, believe it, affirm it. Each night as you prepare for rest, declare, "Christ in me is my purity, my freedom, my joy. He cleanses me now. I am whole, I am at peace, I am one with God." This affirmation, repeated with sincerity, becomes the song of the soul. It transforms the subconscious. It releases the hidden burdens. It awakens the spirit to its divine origin. And as the spirit is renewed, the whole man is made whole. Beloved, you are not a creature of dust, condemned to weakness and guilt. You are a child of God, radiant, eternal, divine in essence. The healing of the Spirit is the remembrance of this truth. Christ came to reveal it, to awaken it, to make it real in your experience. Tonight, as you sleep, let Him cleanse you. Trust in His presence, rest in His love, and when you awaken, you will know the joy of a spirit made free, a mind made clear, a body made whole. Beloved, there is a wondrous mystery that unfolds while you sleep. When the conscious mind grows quiet, when the busy thoughts of the day subside, the subconscious takes command. It is in this holy silence that the Spirit of Christ performs His mighty work. For the subconscious is the fertile soil in which the seeds of truth grow. Whatever thought, image, or belief you impress upon the subconscious before sleep will be nourished and multiplied in the night. Thus, if you carry into your rest the awareness of Christ's presence, if you surrender yourself to His healing power, your whole being will be cleansed, renewed, and made strong. The subconscious never sleeps. It works ceaselessly, guiding the functions of the body, beating the heart, repairing tissues, renewing energy, but it also responds faithfully to the suggestions you give it. If you fill it with fear, it reproduces fear. If you feed it resentment, it brings forth disharmony. But if you impress it with truth, Christ is my healer. His love fills me. His peace sustains me. Then it manifests harmony, health, and peace. The great secret, beloved, is to consciously direct your subconscious into the hands of Christ before you close your eyes at night. Consider how many carry into their sleep the burdens of the day, worries about tomorrow, regrets about the past, anger over perceived wrongs. These thoughts enter the subconscious and continue their work through the night, producing unrest, poor sleep, and even illness. But you, beloved, may choose differently. You may choose to carry into your sleep the radiant truth of God's love. You may affirm, Christ governs my mind, His Spirit renews me now. With such an impression, your subconscious works all through the night to bring peace and healing to every cell, every nerve, every organ of your body. The subconscious, in its silent depth, is like a great engine that never ceases its labor. It knows no rest, but it obeys the commands given by your conscious thoughts. What commands will you give it? If you say, I am weak, I am afraid, I am unworthy, it will accept this and reproduce conditions of weakness and fear. But if you say, I am strong in Christ, I am whole in Christ, I am one with God, it will accept this and bring forth conditions of health and peace. The subconscious does not argue, it does not reason, it simply accepts. This is why the impressions before sleep are so powerful. When you drift into slumber, the conscious God relaxes, and the subconscious is open, receptive, ready to accept whatever thought you plant. This is the golden hour, the sacred moment, when you can plant the seeds of truth that will grow into health and joy. Therefore, let your last thoughts at night be thoughts of peace, of healing, of oneness with God. Let them be affirmations of faith and gratitude. Say quietly, Christ is in me now. His life flows through me. His love heals me. I am whole. Repeat it gently, lovingly, until you feel its truth. Then let sleep overtake you. The subconscious will carry these impressions deep within, and through the night the Spirit of God will cause them to bear fruit. Beloved, this is why Scripture tells us, I will both lay me down in peace and sleep. For thou, Lord, only makest me dwell in safety. Sleep is not mere rest, it is communion with God. It is the time when the conscious barriers dissolve and the deeper mind is molded by Spirit. If you surrender your sleep to worry, you commune with fear. But if you surrender your sleep to Christ, you commune with peace. Let me share with you a simple practice. Each night before sleep, imagine yourself bathed in a radiant light, the light of Christ. Feel it flowing through your body, cleansing every cell, calming every nerve. Feel it entering your mind, dissolving every anxious thought. Feel it entering your spirit, filling you with love and joy. Then in this state of peace, affirm quietly, all is well. I rest in Christ. He heals me now. As you repeat these words, allow yourself to drift into slumber. This practice will impress the subconscious with divine truth. And as you sleep, your whole being will be renewed. The subconscious also works with images. If you picture yourself sick, weak, or troubled, it will reproduce these conditions. But if you picture yourself radiant, strong, and free in Christ, it will bring these conditions into expression. Therefore, before sleep, see yourself as you wish to be. See yourself whole, healthy, joyful, at peace. See Christ's healing light shining through you, restoring every part of your being. These images, impressed upon the subconscious, are carried out faithfully, for the subconscious is the builder, and it builds according to the blueprint you give it. Beloved, you need not strive or struggle in this. The work is not yours. It is the work of Spirit within you. Your task is simply to provide the right impression, to surrender in faith, to allow the divine healing presence to operate. The subconscious, guided by the Spirit, knows how to heal, how to renew, how to restore. It knows how to bring harmony to the body, clarity to the mind, peace to the spirit. You need not understand the process any more than you understand how a seed grows into a flower. You need only plant the seed of truth and trust that it will bear fruit. Remember always that Christ is the great physician. He works through the subconscious, using it as the channel of his healing power. When you affirm his presence, when you surrender your thoughts to him, you align the subconscious with divine law. Healing flows naturally, effortlessly, inevitably. And know this, the subconscious is impressionable, not only at night, but also in the waking hours. Guard your thoughts. Seed it only truth, only love, only peace. But especially at night, when the conscious mind releases its hold, give your subconscious into the hands of Christ. Let your last thoughts be of him, and you will awaken refreshed, renewed, reborn. Do not underestimate the power of this nightly practice. Many have found their lives transformed by simply directing their subconscious into the hands of Christ. Before sleep, old habits dissolved, fears lifted, sickness healed, joy restored, all because they impressed the subconscious with divine truth. You too may experience this miracle. As you lie down tonight, remember you are not alone. Christ watches over you. His Spirit flows through you. His love surrounds you. Rest in this truth. Let it fill your mind. Saturate your subconscious. Cleanse your spirit. As you sleep, the great physician works in the silence, healing, renewing, restoring. And when you awaken, you will know the truth in your heart, that Christ has made you whole in body, mind, and spirit. Beloved, there is a marvelous truth that will set you free, and it is this. Gratitude is the golden key that unlocks the storehouse of heaven. The thankful heart opens the door for divine healing to flow, for gratitude aligns you with the very essence of God. When you are grateful, you are in harmony with the infinite goodness that is forever seeking to express through you. Gratitude is not merely a polite gesture or a fleeting feeling. It is a mighty spiritual force, a vibration of the soul that tunes you to the frequency of abundance, peace, and health. It is the song of the Spirit, rejoicing in its union with the divine. Many live in complaint, rehearsing in their minds what is lacking, what is wrong, what is painful. These thoughts, impressed upon the subconscious, bring forth conditions that match them. Complaint breeds more reason for complaint. But gratitude is the opposite. Gratitude is the recognition of God's presence here and now. Gratitude says, all is well, for God is with me. I rejoice, for Christ is healing me now. I am whole, I am blessed, I am free. This attitude, impressed upon the subconscious, produces peace, joy, and health in abundance. Consider the power of gratitude in healing. When you give thanks for health, even if you do not yet see it, you are affirming the reality of health in the unseen. You are declaring that health is yours by divine right. You are impressing upon the subconscious the image of wholeness, and it must respond. Gratitude is faith in action. It is the confident expectation that God has already provided, that the healing is already complete in the invisible, and will soon be manifest in the visible. Beloved, think of how Jesus gave thanks before the loaves and fishes multiplied. He did not complain of scarcity. He gave thanks for abundance. Think of how he gave thanks before calling Lazarus from the tomb. He did not fear death. He gave thanks for life. Gratitude was his secret. For gratitude acknowledges that God's power is present now. When you give thanks before sleep, you align yourself with the same power. You say to your subconscious, God has already healed me, blessed me, renewed me. The subconscious accepts this. And through the night, it works to bring this truth into manifestation. When you lie down to rest, let gratitude be your final thought. Instead of rehearsing worries or fears, rehearse blessing. Give thanks for your breath, for your body, for the bed upon which you lie. Give thanks for the day, for the lessons learned, for the opportunities received. Give thanks for the presence of Christ within you, guiding, healing, and renewing you. As you fill your mind with gratitude, you saturate your subconscious with faith, joy, and expectancy. These impressions bear fruit in healing, peace, and success. Gratitude has a cleansing effect upon the spirit. Resentment, self-pity, and complaint cannot coexist with a grateful heart. When you give thanks, you dissolve bitterness. When you give thanks, you release envy. When you give thanks, you are lifted above the consciousness of lack into the awareness of divine sufficiency. Gratitude purifies the inner life, making it a clear channel for God's blessings to flow. Gratitude also renews the mind. A mind filled with thanksgiving cannot be filled with fear, for fear and gratitude are opposites. When you give thanks, you affirm that life is safe, that God is good, that all is well. This affirmation brings calmness to the nervous system, serenity to the emotions, clarity to the thoughts. The mind grows calm, and the body follows, releasing tension, allowing healing currents to flow unhindered. Beloved, the subconscious responds not to empty words, but to feeling. Therefore, when you give thanks, do so with feeling. Let your heart swell with genuine gratitude. Feel the joy of knowing that Christ is within you, that His power is flowing through you now. Feel the relief of knowing that healing is already taking place. Feel the peace of knowing that God's plan is perfect and complete. This deep feeling of gratitude penetrates the subconscious and establishes itself as a living reality. You may ask, but how can I give thanks when I am still sick, still burdened, still troubled? The answer, beloved, is that gratitude is not limited to what you see with the eyes. Gratitude looks beyond appearances to the eternal truth. Gratitude gives thanks for what is already true in the invisible, knowing it will soon manifest in the visible. This is why Paul could say, in everything give thanks. He did not say, for everything but in everything. Whatever the outer condition, you can give thanks that God is with you, that Christ is working through you, that healing is on the way. When you practice gratitude nightly, you train the subconscious to expect good. You reprogram it from fear to faith, from complaint to confidence, from doubt to joy. Each night, as you give thanks, you plant seeds of blessing in the subconscious. And as you sleep, these seeds grow into health, harmony, and prosperity. Gratitude is also magnetic. It draws to you more of what you appreciate. If you give thanks for health, you draw health. If you give thanks for love, you draw love. If you give thanks for abundance, you draw abundance. The subconscious magnifies whatever you are grateful for. Therefore, let gratitude be your constant companion, not only by day, but especially by night, as you prepare for rest. Imagine, beloved, as you lie in bed, the golden light surrounding you, the light of Christ's love. As you breathe, whisper, "Thank you, Father, for healing me. Thank you, Christ, for dwelling in me. Thank you, Spirit, for making me whole." Feel this gratitude rise like incense, filling your heart, filling your mind, filling your spirit. Drift into sleep with this feeling, and your subconscious will carry it deep within, multiplying it 100-fold. You will awaken with new joy, new strength, new vitality. You will find reasons for gratitude multiplying in your life, for what you appreciate expands. The more you give thanks, the more you will have to give thanks for. Gratitude is the law of increase. It is the open hand that receives. It is the open heart that welcomes abundance. Beloved, make gratitude your nightly prayer. Let it cleanse your spirit, calm your mind, heal your body. Let it be the song that carries you into slumber, the vibration that shapes your subconscious, the truth that renews your whole being. For when you give thanks, you are one with God's eternal goodness, and nothing can separate you from His love. Beloved, there is a divine law that governs the universe, and it is as unchanging as the rising of the sun or the flowing of the tides. This law is the law of faith. According to your faith, it is done unto you. Faith is not a vague hope or a distant wish. It is the inner conviction, the deep knowing that the unseen reality of God's goodness is already yours. When you rest in faith, you rest in the certainty that health, peace, and joy are not something to be begged for in the future, but something to be accepted now in the present moment. Faith is the hand that receives, the open vessel that allows the living waters of God to fill and overflow. When Jesus healed the sick, He often said, "Thy faith hath made thee whole." Notice that it was not merely His touch, nor His words, but the faith of the individual that unlocked the healing power. For faith is the connecting link between man and God, between the visible and the invisible, between the need and the supply. The power is always present, as light is always present, But faith opens the shutters of the heart to let it in. Without faith, the light is blocked. With faith, it shines forth in glory. Many, beloved, lie down at night filled with fear instead of faith. They say, what if I do not get well? What if tomorrow brings only more suffering? What if God has forgotten me? These thoughts, planted in the subconscious, bring forth conditions of unrest and weakness. But you may choose differently. You may lie down and say, God is my health, Christ is my healer, all is well now. This faith impression, sown into the subconscious, works through the night to manifest healing. Faith directs the subconscious, like a captain directs a ship. Without faith, the ship drifts. With faith, it sails toward the harbor of health and peace. Faith is not effort. It is not straying. It is not forcing the mind. Faith is rest. Faith is the quiet assurance that the law of God is working perfectly. Faith says, I do not see it yet with my eyes, but I know it is done in spirit. I do not feel it yet in my body, but I know it is accomplished in truth. I trust, I believe, I rest. This rest of faith allows the subconscious to carry out its healing work unhindered by doubt. Beloved, faith is the cure for fear. Fear imagines disaster. Faith imagines harmony. Fear looks at appearances. Faith looks at reality. Fear says, what if? Faith says, God is. Fear binds. Faith frees. Fear weakens. Faith strengthens. Fear darkens. Faith enlightens. When you choose faith, you lift your whole vibration into alignment with divine harmony. This alignment is health to the body, peace to the mind, joy to the spirit. Consider how a child rests in the arms of a loving parent. The child does not question whether it will be cared for. It does not analyze or doubt. It simply rests, knowing all is well. So must you rest in the everlasting arms of God. Faith is this childlike trust, the certainty that the Father knows your need and has already provided for it. As you sleep, you can rest in this divine care, knowing that the infinite is watching over you, guiding your subconscious, healing your body, calming your mind, renewing your spirit. The subconscious is greatly influenced by faith. If you believe you will be healed, the subconscious works in harmony with this belief. If you doubt, it works in confusion. Therefore, impress it nightly with the assurance of faith. Say to yourself before sleep, Christ in me is the hope of glory. The Spirit of God heals me now. I rest in perfect faith. Repeat it until the words sink deep into your soul, until you feel their truth. Then let sleep overtake you, and the subconscious will continue the work of faith. Faith is also creative. It shapes conditions, draws opportunities, and opens doors. Faith is the architect, the blueprint, the builder. It does not wait for circumstances, it creates them. When you live by faith, you do not say, I will believe when I see it. You say, I believe, and therefore I will see it. This is the great reversal, the divine order. Seeing follows believing, not the other way around. Beloved, your faith need not be great. Jesus said that faith as a grain of mustard seed is enough to move mountains. What matters is not the size of faith, but its sincerity. Even a small seed of genuine trust, planted in the soil of the subconscious, will grow into a mighty tree of healing and abundance. Nurture this seed nightly. Do not dig it up with doubt. Water it with affirmations of truth. Shine upon it with gratitude, and it will grow inevitably. When you live in faith, you live in harmony with the divine law of life. You no longer struggle against circumstances, for you know they are but the outpicturing of your inner state. You no longer fear the future, for you know it is already secure in God. You no longer dwell in guilt, for you know you are forgiven and free. Faith lifts you above the turbulence of life into the calm of divine peace. Imagine tonight, beloved, as you prepare for sleep, that you are lying upon the everlasting arms of God. Feel the presence of Christ beside you, surrounding you, within you. Say gently, I trust you. I rest in you. I know you are healing me now. Feel this trust in your heart. Let it wash away fear, dissolve doubt, banish worry. Feel the calmness spreading through your body, the peace filling your mind, the joy uplifting your spirit. In this state of faith, drift into slumber. The subconscious, guided by faith, will continue to manifest health, harmony, and blessing. When you awaken, you will feel renewed, for the faith you carried into your sleep has borne fruit. You will find strength where there was weakness, peace where there was turmoil, joy where there was sorrow. Faith transforms the night into a workshop of spirit, a holy sanctuary where Christ works in silence to make you whole. Beloved, the law of faith is simple, unchanging, eternal. According to your faith, it is done unto you. Therefore choose faith, affirm it, live it, rest in it. Let it be the atmosphere of your mind, the song of your heart, the guiding star of your spirit. For faith is the open door through which the healing power of God enters. And once that door is open, no man can shut it. Beloved, there is a divine rhythm woven into the very fabric of life, a sacred harmony that is forever singing the song of wholeness. When you attune yourself to this rhythm, when you surrender your being to the music of spirit, you discover that healing is not something you must chase or strive for. It is already yours, flowing like a river, ready to cleanse and renew. The body, the mind, and the spirit are instruments in this divine symphony, and when they are aligned with Christ, they play together in perfect harmony. When discord arises, when the music is disturbed by fear, guilt, or resentment, the body falls ill, the mind grows restless, the spirit feels burdened. Yet Christ, the great conductor, restores the harmony, retunes the instrument, and brings forth once again the melody of health, peace, and joy. Each night, as you surrender to sleep, you are given a sacred opportunity to realign with this divine rhythm. Sleep is more than rest. It is a return to the source. While the conscious mind grows silent, the deeper mind, the subconscious, becomes receptive. It is in this silence that Christ does his work most profoundly. If you carry into your sleep the awareness of divine harmony, the subconscious accepts it, and through the night it restores balance to body, mind, and spirit. You awaken refreshed, renewed, and whole, not by effort, but by surrender. Think of your body as a magnificent orchestra. Every organ, every cell, every nerve has its part to play. When all are attuned to the divine rhythm, the music of health flows effortlessly. But when one section falls out of tune, the harmony is disturbed. Pain, sickness, or weakness arises. Yet the solution is not to focus on the discord, but to return to the conductor, the Christ within, who knows how to retune every instrument, how to bring every part back into harmony. When you rest in Christ, his healing presence permeates every cell, every organ, every function, restoring the music of life. The mind, too, must be tuned. A mind filled with worry is like a violin string stretched too tightly. It produces only harshness and strain. A mind filled with despair is like a string left slack. It produces sound at all. But a mind filled with faith and gratitude is like a perfectly tuned string, vibrating with clarity and beauty. Christ is the master tuner of the mind. His presence dissolves fear, lifts worry, and restores balance. When you affirm, "The peace of Christ fills my mind now," you are allowing the great tuner to bring your thoughts into harmony with divine law. The Spirit, beloved, is the heart of the symphony. It is the eternal essence, the divine spark, the breath of God. When the Spirit is weighed down by guilt or resentment, the whole symphony falters. But when the Spirit is lifted in love, when it rejoices in union with God, the whole being sings. Christ cleanses the spirit of every shadow, every burden, every false belief of separation. He whispers, "You are forgiven, you are free. You are one with the Father." And with this truth, the spirit is renewed, the mind is enlightened, and the body is restored. Consider how a symphony begins with silence. Out of stillness, the music rises. So it is with healing. Out of the stillness of sleep, the harmony of Christ arises within you. Do not resist this stillness. Embrace it. When you go to bed, do not carry the noise of the day into the silence of the night. Lay down your burdens, your worries, your regrets. Say quietly, "I surrender all to Christ. He restores me now." As you release, the silence deepens, and into that silence flows the music of divine healing. Beloved, harmony is your true nature. Discord is temporary, an appearance, a cloud passing across the sun. Do not identify with the sickness, the fear, the trouble. These are but passing notes, not the true symphony. Your essence is harmony, for you were created in the image of God. Christ restores you to this truth. He reminds you that the discord has no power, no permanence, no reality. Only harmony is eternal. Only health, peace, and joy are the truth of your being. When you align with this truth, healing flows naturally. You do not need to force it. The river does not need to be pushed. It flows by its nature. Health is the river of life within you, and Christ is the source. When you remove the stones of fear, guilt, and resentment, the river flows freely, cleansing and renewing each night. As you surrender to sleep, you may cast into the river every stone that burdens you. Say, I release all fear. I release all guilt. I release all resentment. Christ cleanses me now. Feel the river flowing, washing you, restoring you. As you sleep, the river continues its work, and you awaken refreshed, renewed, and free. Harmony also means balance. The body, mind, and spirit must work together, not in opposition. Many suffer because they focus only on the body, neglecting the mind and spirit. Others dwell only in the mind, forgetting the needs of the body. Still others live only for the spirit, neglecting the temple of flesh. True health is the balance of all three, working together as one. Christ restores this balance. He heals the body, renews the mind, and cleanses the spirit. He brings them into unity, into oneness, into harmony. Imagine, beloved, as you lie down tonight, that your whole being is an instrument in the hands of Christ. Feel His presence tuning every string, adjusting every note, aligning every vibration. See your body glowing with light, your mind calm and serene, your spirit radiant with love. Hear within you the music of harmony, the song of life, the melody of joy. Drift into sleep with this vision, and through the night Christ will continue His work, perfecting the harmony of your being. When you awaken, you will feel the difference. You will feel light in your body, peace in your mind, joy in your spirit. You will walk in the rhythm of divine life. Others will notice the radiance in your face, the calm in your voice, the strength in your step. This is the fruit of harmony, the outpicturing of inner alignment. Beloved, this is the truth. You are an instrument of God's love. You are meant to sing the song of health, peace, and joy. Discord may come for a season, but it cannot last. For Christ is the eternal conductor. Trust Him. Surrender to His rhythm. Allow Him to restore your harmony each night as you sleep. And when you awaken, live in that harmony. Share it with others. Let your life be the music that lifts the world. Beloved, there is a sacred mystery in the power of thanksgiving. Gratitude is the golden key that unlocks the treasure house of heaven. When you give thanks, you align yourself with the eternal flow of abundance, health, and peace. To thank God is to recognize that what you desire is already accomplished in spirit. That healing is not a future event, but a present reality. Thanksgiving is faith in action, faith clothed in words of joy. It is the language of the heart that knows the infinite has already answered, and therefore it rejoices before the manifestation is seen. When Jesus lifted His eyes to heaven and gave thanks before the loaves and fishes multiplied, He demonstrated this divine principle. He did not wait until the baskets overflowed before He gave thanks. He thanked in advance, and this thanksgiving released the power of multiplication. Likewise, before Lazarus walked out of the tomb, Jesus said, Father, I thank Thee that Thou hast heard me. Gratitude was the seal upon His faith, the assurance that the work was already done in spirit. And so it is with you. When you give thanks for healing, even before you feel it, you are affirming that in the unseen it is already complete. Many people lie down at night rehearsing their troubles, magnifying their ailments, recounting their sorrows. They fill their subconscious with seeds of complaint, and in the morning they reap accordingly fatigue, discouragement, unrest, that you may choose differently. You may fill your subconscious with thanksgiving, with words of praise, with songs of gratitude. You may say, Thank you, Father, for healing me now. Thank you, Christ, for cleansing my body, calming my mind, and lifting my spirit. Thank you that I am whole, perfect, and free. These words, spoken sincerely, impress the subconscious with harmony, and through the night the healing process is quickened. Gratitude changes the vibration of the entire being. When you are grateful, fear cannot dominate you, for gratitude and fear cannot occupy the same space. Gratitude is light, fear is shadow. When the light shines, the shadow flees. When you are grateful, resentment dissolves, for you cannot bless and curse at the same time. Gratitude softens the heart, releases tension, and opens the channels of love. This openness allows the healing power of Christ to flow unhindered. Beloved, gratitude is not merely a polite word, it is a spiritual law. Whatever you thank God for increases. If you thank God for your health, your health is strengthened. If you thank Him for peace, peace deepens. If you thank Him for joy, joy multiplies. Thanksgiving is a magnet that draws more of what you praise. The subconscious, too, responds to gratitude as fertile soil responds to rain. It brings forth according to the seeds planted. Therefore, plant seeds of thanksgiving every night, and you will reap a harvest of healing. Consider the body. Every cell is intelligent, responsive to the thoughts you think and the emotions you feel. When you send gratitude to your body, you bless it, and it responds with vitality. If instead you curse it, saying, "My body is weak, my body is sick, my body is failing," it responds with weakness. But when you say, "Thank you, Father, that every cell of my body is filled with divine life. Thank you that my heart beats with your rhythm, that my lungs breathe with your breath, that my blood flows with your love," the body quickens. It rejoices in the blessing, and health is restored. The mind, too, thrives on gratitude. A grateful mind is a calm mind. It is not restless, for it sees abundance everywhere. It is not envious, for it rejoices in the good of others. It is not fearful, for it trusts in the provision of God. When you fill your mind with thanksgiving, you release it from the grip of anxiety and open it to the peace of Christ. Gratitude focuses the mind on what is true, noble, and pure, and this focus transforms the very patterns of thought. The spirit, beloved, soars on wings of gratitude. Gratitude is the language of the soul. It lifts you beyond the narrow confines of self into union with the infinite. When you thank God, your spirit recognizes its source and rejoices in oneness. In gratitude, the illusion of separation dissolves, and you rest in the embrace of divine love. This union is healing, for the greatest sickness of the spirit is the belief in separation. Gratitude cures this sickness by affirming unity. Let me share with you a simple practice. Each night before sleep, think of 3 things for which you are grateful. They may be small: a smile from a loved one, a breath of fresh air, a ray of sunshine, a kind word. As you dwell on them, feel the gratitude in your heart. Then extend this gratitude to your body, to your mind, to your spirit. Say, "Thank you, Father, for this body that serves me, for this mind that thinks, for this spirit that lives forever in you." Finally, thank God for your healing as if it were already complete. Drift into sleep with this song of thanksgiving, and the subconscious will carry it into the night, bringing forth healing and renewal. Beloved, gratitude is the fragrance of the soul. Just as a flower releases its perfume naturally, so a heart filled with gratitude releases blessing without effort. Wherever you go, the fragrance of gratitude uplifts others. They feel peace in your presence, for your gratitude radiates an atmosphere of divine love. This radiation is also healing. When you are grateful, you not only heal yourself, you become a channel of healing for others. Your words bless, your touch comforts, your very presence uplifts. Remember this eternal truth: thanksgiving is the will of God. In everything give thanks, the scripture says, for gratitude aligns you with divine order. It does not mean you give thanks for sickness or sorrow, but you give thanks in the midst of them, knowing that God is greater, that healing is already working, that good will be revealed. Gratitude is not blind acceptance. It is enlightened faith. It sees beyond the appearance to the reality of spirit. So tonight, beloved, as you lie down, release all complaints. Replace them with thanksgiving. Say, "Father, I thank thee that thou hast heard me. I thank thee that Christ heals me now. I thank thee that all is well." Let gratitude fill your heart until it overflows. Feel its warmth spreading through your body, its peace calming your mind, its joy lifting your spirit. In this atmosphere of gratitude, sleep will come sweetly, and while you sleep, the healing presence of Christ will work more perfectly, restoring you in body, mind, and spirit. When you awaken, you will carry this gratitude with you into the day. You will see beauty where before you saw burden. You will find strength where before you felt weakness. You will discover blessings hidden in every circumstance. Gratitude will be the light in your eyes, the joy in your voice, the love in your heart, and this gratitude will continue to multiply health, peace, and joy in your life, for it is the golden key to the treasures of heaven. Beloved, there is a sacred truth that must be impressed deeply upon your soul. You are never alone, not for a single instant, not in the day nor in the night, not in joy nor in sorrow, not in health nor in sickness. The living Christ is with you always, closer than breathing, nearer than hands and feet. His presence is the eternal companion of your soul, the unfailing light upon your path, the healing balm that soothes every wound. To recognize His presence is to awaken to peace, to wholeness, to the joy of divine companionship. To forget His presence is to fall into the illusion of loneliness, fear, and despair. But you may at any moment turn your thought inward, say within yourself, "Thou art with me," and instantly the atmosphere of your being changes. As you prepare for sleep, beloved, it is this recognition of the indwelling Christ that will bring you the deepest healing. The conscious mind may forget, but the subconscious never forgets what you impress upon it. When you lie down in your bed, and before your eyes close, whisper gently to your heart, "Christ is here, Christ is in me, Christ is my healer now." Let this truth sink beneath the surface, into the depths of your soul. The subconscious will carry this awareness into the night, and through the silent hours, the presence of Christ will be at work, restoring your body, renewing your mind, uplifting your spirit. Christ is the light that never flickers. Even in the darkest night, His radiance surrounds you. Many believe they are abandoned when sickness strikes, when sorrow overwhelms, when fear grips the heart. But this is only the cloud of appearances. Behind the cloud, the Sun of Christ is always shining. His light is eternal, unchanged by the storms of life. When you acknowledge His presence, the cloud dissolves, the sun shines forth, and the darkness vanishes. This presence is not confined to a church, a temple, or a shrine. It is not found only in holy places or sacred rituals. The presence of Christ is within you, for you are the temple of the living God. Wherever you are, He is. Whatever you are doing, He is there. In your rising and your resting, in your work and your play, in your thoughts and your dreams, He is the unseen companion, the silent guide, the eternal healer. When you fall asleep with the awareness of His presence, you enter into a deeper rest. The body relaxes more fully, the mind releases more completely, the spirit soars more freely. Fear cannot disturb you, for you know Christ watches over you. Nightmares cannot trouble you, for His peace surrounds you. Illness cannot bind you, for His healing power flows through you. Sleep becomes not just rest, but communion, a holy meeting with the indwelling Christ. Beloved, healing does not come from outside of you. It does not come from a distant place or a faraway heaven. Healing comes from within, for Christ is within. When you say, "Christ heals me now," you are not calling upon a power far off. You are awakening the power already present, already active, already working in the depths of your soul. This presence is infinite intelligence, divine wisdom, perfect love. It knows how to mend every broken cell, how to restore every organ, how to renew every faculty of mind and body. You need not tell it what to do. You need only trust it, surrender to it, and allow it to work. Consider the seed in the earth. You plant it, you water it, and then you trust the life within it to bring forth the harvest. You do not dig it up every day to see if it is growing. You rest in faith, knowing the life within is sufficient. So it is with the presence of Christ. Plant the seed of recognition. Christ is here, Christ is my healer, and then rest in faith. The life within will bring forth healing without effort. Beloved, the presence of Christ is peace to the troubled mind. When thoughts race, when anxieties multiply, when worries torment, turn inward and say, "Peace, be still. Christ is with me now." Feel the calmness spreading like ripples upon a still lake. The presence dissolves the turbulence, and the mind rests in serenity. The presence of Christ is joy to the sorrowing heart. When grief weighs heavy, when loneliness stings, when hope seems lost, whisper, "Christ is here. His joy is my strength." Feel the sorrow lighten, the burden lift, the heart rejoice once more. The presence of Christ is strength to the weary body. When weakness drags, when sickness afflicts, when pain torments, declare, "Christ in me is my life, my strength, my health." Feel the energy rise, the vitality return, the healing quicken. Do not think of this presence as something vague or abstract. It is real, tangible, powerful. You may not see it with your eyes, but you feel it in your heart. It is the warmth of love, the calm of peace, the joy of spirit. It is the gentle assurance that all is well, even when appearances say otherwise. When you lie down at night, close your eyes and visualize yourself bathed in radiant light. See this light filling your room. surrounding your body, penetrating every cell. Say, "This is the presence of Christ. It heals me now." Drift into sleep within this light, and you will awaken, renew. Beloved, the secret of healing is not struggle, but surrender. Struggle says, "I must make this happen." Surrender says, "God has already done it through Christ in me." Struggle clings in fear. Surrender releases in trust. Struggle blocks the flow. Surrender opens the channel. When you surrender to the presence of Christ, you cease struggling and begin receiving. Healing flows naturally, freely, abundantly, because the barriers are removed. Remember always, you and Christ are one. This is the eternal truth. "I and my Father are one," said Jesus, "and what he declared of himself is true of you, for the same Spirit dwells in you. You are not a separate creature begging for a gift. You are a divine child, expressing the life of the Father. Healing is not given to you as a reward. It is revealed in you as your birthright. The presence of Christ makes this birthright manifest. So tonight, beloved, as you rest, do not say, "I hope Christ will come." Instead, affirm, "Christ is here. Christ is in me. Christ heals me now." Feel the reality of it. Let it sink deep into your subconscious. As you sleep, the healing presence will work silently, perfectly, restoring harmony to every part of your being. And when you awaken, give thanks. Say, "Thank you, Father, for the presence of Christ that never leaves me." Carry this awareness into your day, and you will walk in health, peace, and joy. Beloved, this is the great truth. Christ is with you always, in sleep and in waking, in silence and in speech, in stillness and in action. He is your healer, your comforter, your guide, your life. Rest in this truth, surrender to this presence, and you shall know the wholeness of God in body, mind, and spirit.